Hi. Now the sun's out and the winter's just about over and we're coming into spring. It's time to get fit. Many of us that think about getting fit, go to the gym, pay a lot of money for a lot of equipment which I'll look at and admire and then be scared and walk away. Still paying the monthly subscription and you realise that you spent rather a lot of money for nothing. But there is another alternative, and it is for nothing. Maybe a good pair of shoes, which you've probably got already, and waterproof trousers, waterproof clothes if you need them. Or you can just be a fair weather person and go out when it's nice. I prefer the latter personally, because as long as you just go out regularly, then that's probably enough. And then when you get good, then you can actually go out as often as you want. And also work gets in the way and life gets in the way. So the simple one is to do quite a few kilometres of walking. But when you first start, you might go, oh, it's too hilly round here. It's any excuse round here. It's, the roads are too dangerous. They're blah, blah, blah. There's excuses. And you could just walk around your living room. It's not recommended, but you could do that if that's all you can do. And that is absolutely fine. But it's how you walk is the interesting thing. So when I did my Alexander technique training, it was, one of them was actually walking. And also you've seen John Cleese and the Ministry of Funny Walks. I think it's called that. Anyway, if you're old enough, you remember it. And people walking rather peculiarly and getting sponsorships for walking peculiarly because you go to the ministry and get paid for it. Anyway, that was the comedy sketch. So that's all based off an Alexander lesson, what John Cleese had many years ago. Or that's what I've been told. Quite happy to be corrected. So we walk, and everybody walks differently. So when you're out in town or walking around, going to work or whatever, just notice how people walk. And my question is, what are they leading with? So some people lead with the knees, some people lead with the hips, some people lead with the shoulders, the chin. It's rather peculiar once you start watching it, and it's how they think you should walk. Well, all those ways are quite apt and maybe suitable, but they're not really the best way to move. So the way I teach walking is a bit different, is that walking is an intention to go somewhere. And to go somewhere, you need an intention. So I'm going to walk up this, I've got a hill here. So I've got the dogs, so I'm going to walk up to that post very shortly. And it's having that intention to go there, and it's shortening the distance. So the intention is about having connection to your body, know where your feet are, toes, heels. I'll go into more detail in later things. Your ankles, your knees, your hips, and your head neck joint, which I go on all about all the time. And it's just having those in balance. And you know when you're in balance because you're not pulling, your back's not pulling to keep you upright if you're leaning forward, or your chest is not pulling and your stomach's not pulling if you're leaning backwards. I was leaning backwards and forwards, I don't know if you saw that. So it's having that freedom and that lightness, and just notice that lightness. So perhaps you could just have that shut your eyes and imagine, that's lovely. Your feet on the ground, and the arrangement of my feet feels like my right foot is pointing outwards a little bit and my left foot's going straight forward. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and just notice that. Don't correct it, because there's nothing perfect, because this is my perfect thought, because I thought about it and arranged my feet there before I started this. I notice where your ankles are, your knees, your hips, head neck joint, and freedom in your spine. And now, what a lot of people do when they see a hill, this hill here, with my dogs, is we lean into hills. And that is one of the, and you get out of breath, because you actually start pulling your spine, and you'll lose your breath because you'll lose you'll lose your breathing function. As I'm thinking about going up the hill, my breathing is altered, and it's all that preparation and getting going, and it's really strange. So walking up a hill is just a matter of lifting your legs up a little bit higher. You might take a smaller pace. So as you walk up, you just walk up like that, and it's quite easy, and just be upright. So next time you do a walk and there's a hill, just notice. And the other way I do, if you go up, stop halfway up, and then if you twizzle round, keeping your torso as it is, and if you end up leaning down the hill, that means you've been leaning up the hill. So give it a go. It's quite simple, and it connects everything to you. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.